Okay.
What about your family? Did you miss them?
Of course, but there were many my age who felt the same. We learned to look out for one another.
Then fine.
The Templars take vows. I swear to the Maker to watch all the mages, that sort of thing.
There's a vigil first. You're meant to be at peace during that time, but your life is about to change. When it's over, you give yourself to a life of service. That's when you're given the filter, your first draft of lyric and its power. As Templars, we are not to seek wealth or acknowledgement. Our lives belong to the Maker and the path we have chosen.
Ah.
Do the Templars do anything besides hunt mages?
Templars protect against the dangers of magic. Before the Order left the Chantry, that meant serving in a circle. They were also tasked with tracking apostates or fighting demons inevitably summoned by the weak or malicious.
What do you think of mages? Are they all a threat?
I've seen the suffering magic can inflict. I've treated mages with distrust because of it, at times without cause. That was unworthy of me. I will try not to do so. Not that I want mages moving through our base completely unchecked. We need safeguards in place to protect people, including mages, from possession of the beast.
You've lived in the Circle. What was a typical day for a Templar there?
Typical. The last time I was in a circle was right before it fell apart. Nothing was typical.
Before that day?
The place is waiting his all.
Require a full guard. A mage's howling, for instance. I've attended a few. Most of the time you merely maintain a presence, on patrol or in the circle, ready to respond if needed. Mages pretend to ignore that presence, but they're watching you just as
These
closely.
are the first responders.
The Templars and mages never speak to each other.
Some do, but Templars are supposed to maintain a certain distance from their charges. If a mage is possessed or uses blood magic, you must act quickly, without hesitation. Your judgment cannot be clouded. Of course, ignoring one another does nothing to foster understanding.
What does Templar training involve?
There is weapon and combat training. Even without their abilities, Templars are among the best warriors in Thadis. Initiates must
I
also
don't know.
memorize portions of the Chant of Life,
I am here,
study
right?
history, and improve their mental focus.
Did you enjoy your training?
Learn everything. If I was giving my life to this, I would be the best Templar I could.
You were a model student.
I wanted to be. I wasn't always successful. Watching a candle burn down while reciting the Chant of Transfiguration wasn't the most exciting task. I admit, my mind sometimes wandered.
I see. Nope, not the new recruit. Cassandra.
Should you require anything, I'll be here.
It occurs to me I don't actually know much about you.
What do you want to know?
I'm not sure. Where are you from?
I thought you knew that.
I suppose I could ask Liliana. She has collected a frightening amount of information on you. But I don't want to ask her. I want to hear it from you.
No specific place. My mercenary band worked mostly in the free marches, however.
At least until you crossed the waking sea to reach the Conclave, I suppose. Tell me, do you consider the Free Marches your home? Are you eager to go back?
I might, once this is done.
It will not be the same once you do.
I'd like to get to know you better.
You would?
Is that a problem?
Not entirely. I'm just curious as to your motivation.
Is there any harm in us becoming a little closer?
Plenty.
Is that right?
As you wish. My name is Cassandra Pendergast, daughter of the Royal House of Navarra, 78th in line for the
Long
Navarran
choice.
throne. I joined the Seekers of Truth as a young woman, and was with the Order until they withdrew from the Chantry. I remained as the Divine's right hand, carrying out her order to form the Inquisition. And here we are. That's all there is to know, my lord.
Yes, sir.
You're a member of Navarra's royal family.
The Pentaghasts are a very large clan. Half of Cumberland could say the same.
Really?
No, but it feels that way. I have hundreds of relatives so distant they need charts to prove we're related at all. And they have them. Oh yes. The Pentaghasts value their precious blood like it runs with gold.
And you joined the Seekers to get away from
So
them.
even she
It
has
was a life
complicated
worth
family.
getting away from. The Pentaghasts are famed for dragon hunting, but few actually pursue the craft. Most are fat and lazy. They pay lip service to the Maker and care only for idle pleasures and past glories. My brother was
that
all that
was,
kept me in Navarre.
Bad hit.
Once he was gone, so was I.
You don't seem to like your homeland much.
My family polluted it for me. What little I saw of my homeland was through the bars of a gilded cage. My uncle treated me like a porcelain doll to be placed on a shelf and dusted only when necessary. Thus I did not see Navarra, the real Navarra, until much later. By then I realized I knew it not at all.
Your uncle? What about your parents?
They had the misfortune of taking the wrong side in the second attempt to overthrow King Marcus. The king executed them, but spared my brother and I since we were family, and children at the time. Thus we were raised by my uncle. A
And now
mortalitati
he
who
became a
preferred the
fan.
company of his corpses to the living.
Your uncle was a mortalitasi.
A death mage. He still is. My countrymen do not burn the dead, they bury them in special crypts. The mortalitasi supervise the crypts, like priests. Uncle Vestalis oversees the grand necropolis. Navarrans spend more time honoring dead relatives than they do with living ones. It is odd to be so fascinated with death and its trappings. I will never understand it.
Tell me about your brother.
I would
Pretty
prefer not to
straightforward.
speak of Anthony. Another time, perhaps.
So you were the right hand to the Divine.
To Divine Justinia, yes. And Divine Beatrix before her, in fact. The position is normally reserved for Templars of the Knights Divine, but my circumstances were unusual.
Unusual how?
You don't know the story? Thank the Maker. I will tell you if you wish, but it isn't as exciting as some drum it up to be. The short version is that I once saved the previous Divine's life. My reward was becoming her right
Ooh,
hand.
Another.
But what does a right hand do exactly?
What is your hand capable of? It gives, it takes, it beckons. It makes a fist. Liliana and I extended the Divine's reach beyond the Grand Cathedral. We went where she could not. After Beatrix, I was tired of the position and wanted to return to the Seekers. But Justinia convinced me to stay. Her vision for the future gave me hope.
You thought she could really change things?
Justinia knew the war was coming long before it began. She tried to avert it, but the forces arrayed against her were too strong. Sometimes you have to break a bone so it can be reset. That's where the Inquisition comes in. It was to be the answer.
Okay,
A means to
very
preserve as well
dry
as an
indeed.
agent for change. I only wish
I
they'd
don't
lived
got
to
a
see it.
lot to say.
So what's the story about you becoming the right hand?
Sweet Andraste, do you really want to hear that?
These people
It was,
have so
what,
much to talk
18,
about.
20 years ago? Some still discuss it like it happened yesterday. The tale gets bigger each time it's told. I barely recognize myself within it now.
That's what happens with stories that become legends.
I am not a legend, nor was I then. I was a young woman barely out of training. To hear others tell it, I alone saved Divine Beatrix from a horde of dragons sent to assault the Grand Cathedral. Rather impressive for such a young seeker, wouldn't you say?
And the truth is?
I stumbled upon a conspiracy to kill Beatrix. A Templar Knight Commander was at its heart. And there was a dragon battle at the Grand Cathedral. but I had help from loyal mages who rallied to the cause. They freed the dragons from magical control. Without them, the Divine and I would both have died. Yet I became the right hand, and they are forgotten.
You're delightful, you know that?
No, I do not know that. I object. There is nothing delightful about me.
I beg to differ.
I think I preferred you in the stocks.
I'll let you get back to work.
Okay, any more? Oh, loads more. Varric, Sarah, Liliana, Solus. Josephine.
All men of the work of the Maker's hands. From the lowest slaves to the highest kings. What kind of name is it? Anyway, doesn't sound it. The chant of light. Only the word is
Travel safe. Researcher Minave has notes on alloys that may prove more effective against demons.
Oh, does she? Well, we'll take anything that gives our blades a bit more bite. You mages aren't.
I am no longer a mage.
Even better.
Both have a rating of 9. Well, cannot have a grip now. 188. Why not? Why fucking not? Strength? Oh, it had strength. Blue victory. Blue vitriol. Barrier. What is barrier? Heal on kill, or let's go with barrier, man. Cotton. 9% heal on kill.
You need something?
I need something, alright. Flanking damage bonus. Strength, yep. Thrusting sword, 101. Hey, thrusting sword is bullshit. Sharp combo. I have no idea what you do with the 200 pommel. Rugged board. Why not? But yeah, I can get this later. Both have a rating of 19.
Good.
these guys.
Let all repeat the chant of light. Only the word.
Something's happening, man. Do you see the glitches? The small parts where they just...
Need something?
Can I ask you something, Varric?
You want to talk about me? I'm flattered. Also inclined toward extravagant lies.
How do you and Cassandra know each other?
You heard about the Kirkwall Chantry being destroyed? The guy responsible used to be a friend of mine. The Seeker had questions about that, and I had answers.
Are you from Ferelden? Or Ley?
Free Marches, born and raised in Kirkwall. And despite whatever you've heard, no, Kirkwall's not that bad.
Where did you get that crossbow? I've never seen one like it.
Bianca, she's one of a kind. I won her from Paragon Smith Bronca in a game of Wicked Grace. She was such a sore loser. Ran off to the deep roads in a huff, and that was the last anyone saw of her.
Who's she named for?
I can't tell you.
Why
And
not?
the reason for that is...
Complicated. It's the one story I'll never tell. We just have to leave it at that.
Okay.
I'm not clear on your line of work. You're a merchant.
Just not pry into
I'm a
this
businessman.
guy.
My family has a seat in the
Personal
Dwarven
affairs.
Merchants Guild. Merchants buy and sell goods. Businessmen buy and sell stores. In my spare time, I manage a spy network, and occasionally, I write books.
If you've run a spy network, why is Leliana our spy master?
To be honest with you, she's just a better spy master. The truly great ones can keep their distance. They don't get attached to their people. Me, I always wind up babysitting my informants and worrying about their families. We're in better hands with her.
You're an author. What kind of books have you written?
I've tried my hands at a few genres. My crime serials are my most popular. Hard in Hightown, guards breaking the rules to get things done. The Tale of the Champion is the most famous thing I've written, or infamous maybe. I started a romance serial once, Swords and Shields, but to be honest, I don't have a knack for romances. Most of my stories end in tragedy. Probably that says something unfortunate about me personally.
Yeah.
What sort of shops do you
very
own?
true.
Actually, we don't own shops. That was just an example. Mostly we invest in money lenders. Auction houses, a few mercenary companies, a couple of smithies. I think we own half a beet plantation in Ravane somewhere. Most of that's my brother's doing. Bartrand had business sense. Not much tact, but loads of business sense.
Thanks, Varric.
No problem.
Fira.
So, this is it, huh? Oh no, it's fine, yeah? It's just, I thought it'd be bigger. Hear that? I meant the stronghold, but it sounded like... Well, it's funny, right? Anyway, stopping wars should earn more sovereigns than this. Need things back to normal for coins to be flowing again. Another reason the Templars and mages need to be sat down.
It's not just a war between those two.
Well, sure, the sky has a hole in it, but I can't put an arrow in that. Well, I have. Doesn't come down. That's weird. And that's the point, right? It's weird and right there, but they still want to punch each other. They're too busy to look up where the real questions are.
That's why we're here. To help guide everyone back from the brink.
The religious ones tell you that. That's important, right? But don't make it all about that. Seems like believing too hard is what got everyone here. And here is stupid and smells of horse. Really? What everyone needs is to get everything back to normal and proper and profitable. Sound good to you, all chosen Lord Herald?
I think I'll enjoy having you around, Sarah. I hope you'll feel the same.
Not even. Get to work, Herald. I'm gonna go kick someone out of a bed.
Oh man, no Nobody's responding nicely to our call.
Chasing the Lord Seeker, I hear. Anyone who thinks they need Lord in front of the name, that's bad. Bet he's got a portrait taller than he is. That's your first clue to a total arse. Fact.
Okay.
You apparently have a lot of friends. Tell me about your network.
It's not mine, right? I mean, it is, but it's also everyone. Everyone who wants to shove it to nobles who hide behind gold and silk. And hats, I guess.
People coming.
Are you just about pranks and revenge, or is there more to it?
Well, it's a weave, right? I grease a ballroom, so a wyvern chasing Git has to hunt Sprained. Strangely, handmaids leave his vault open. His heirlooms pay off someone else. Maybe clean streets in Kirkwall so someone gets something else. Pish, pish, pish. A lot of people eventually get help or a laugh. Or maybe someone dead, if they deserve it.
So who decides who deserves it? You? By what authority?
Look, Dukey cuts a stable boy's finger off for snagging a biscuit. He's eating an arrow for tea. Deserves it. Most times, it's just fun. And embarrassed, the same as dead for some. Anyway,
Fun.
assassin's a bard's job, innit? No fun, that lot. They might plonk a noble, right? But only to raise another. Plus, I'm shy at singing.
Is Red Jenny real? Or was she always just you and your friends?
Dunno.
Don't you care?
Not if it works. I mean, Red is scary because blood. And Jenny is... Look, nobody fears the bunch of people who do random stuff. And besides, it's easy. Nobles want a bogeyman because they need to believe normal people can't get at them. Numbers, right? It don't have to be so complicated.
It seems like it should be more complicated than that.
That's why you'd be bad at it and why I'm here. You don't want to play, don't play. That's simple too.
Where are the people you promised?
If I knew, they wouldn't be much use. That's sort of the point. Look, unless your baddies are rocks or trees, they have people they use. Cooks, squires, wipers. Yeah, I know, wipers, right? You better believe the one with wipers deserve it, right in the... Well, anyway. And little people will be there when you need them, in a million little ways.
So lots of little contributions add up in the background, like snowflakes that snap a branch.
What? Sure. Like snow, I guess. Anyway, it just works, most of the time. Friend of a friend and little hints. Mind you, you still have to be smart. Don't bet your life unless you're into that. To be clear, I'm not into that.
I can play along if it works for you.
You have a choice. Hail the Inquisition.
Hail the Inquisition. That's all I
We'll
get.
talk another time.
It's all good, innit?
Fable of the Frostbite. Thank you for 50 XP. Thank you for another 50 XP.
The chosen of Andraste, the blessed hero sent to save us all.
What's up, boy?
Am I riding in on a shining steed?
I would have suggested a griffin, but sadly they're extinct. Joke as you will, posturing is necessary. I've journeyed deep into the Fade in ancient ruins and battlefields to see the dreams of lost civilizations. I've watched as hosts of spirits clash to reenact the bloody past in ancient wars, both famous and forgotten. Every great war has its heroes. I'm just curious what kind you'll be.
Well,
Hopefully the kind who lives to become that embarrassing former hero everyone has to put up with.
I can think of worse fates. I will stay. At least until the breach has been closed.
Was that in doubt?
I am an apostate surrounded by Chantry forces in the middle of a mage rebellion. Cassandra has been accommodating, but you understand my caution.
Sandra.
Cassandra trusts you. She won't let anyone put you into a circle against your will.
Thank you. I appreciate the thought. But now let us hope either the mages or the Templars have the power to seal the breach.
Templars, I doubt Templars can do anything of use for me. The mages with their magic should do something. Apothecary, find with you can upgrade potions you have already unlocked. To upgrade a potion, so you can upgrade potion requires single amount of herbs to unlock and repair the permanent universe. Okay. Spread sticky fire at the target, causing burn damage every second enemies inside the fire remains 30 seconds. Holy shit, so if the target is non-moving, then I get about 46 1300 damage. First thing I need is to restore health. 5% laurel and 34 embryon. I need blood lotus. Oh.
Thank you.
Look who's back from the dead. Again.
Yellow.
I shouldn't be surprised. You Oxmen are tough as old leather.
We've met.
It has been a rough few days.
That's an understatement. And more ahead if the weather is any indication. Name's Adan. I'm in charge of keeping our little band here stocked with potions and elixirs. Not that Seeker Pentagast seems to care whether we've got the supplies to actually do that.
How do I go about having potions made?
Just take a look there and tell me what you'd like. Find a recipe for something better, I can make that too.
Raider axe. Time to sell it. Little observations. I need to find merchants. What I need is a snake blade, but I'll get it in the next one. I idea how to use the upgrades. Songs collected, taking all the arts. Justice Mobile.
When will you be able to
Nice
get us
work
the
with those
crafting
supplies.
we need?
The Smiths can use them to fit our troops with better gear. Might not affect you much, but our recruits will have better chances next time some monster flies out of a rift.
If I have material for a special order, do I bring it to you?
Just take it over there. One of my boys will take the materials or jot down what you found.
Okay.
How does someone end up as quartermaster for the Inquisition?
I served for Eldon under Ten Loghain MacTier. Best commanding officer this world has ever seen. After they all turned on him at Denerim, though, there wasn't much use for people who held that opinion. Queen Honora offered my services to the Inquisition. It was a kindness. She knew I supported her father and got me away from the political garbage.
Have you seen it, Jean de Vivienne? That's the picture.
Blessed are the peacekeepers, the champions of the just. Blessed are the righteous, the lights in the shadow. In their blood, the Maker's will is written. Is that what you want from us?
No, that is not
Blood.
what I want.
To die so that your will is done? Is death your only blessing?
You speak for Andraste, no? What does the Maker's prophet have to say about all of this? What's his game?
How is this a game?
Do you see the sky? What about the temple ruins? The bones lying in the dust?
Even if you didn't support the Divine's peace, you wouldn't call this right. Who could? So many innocent lives. The faithful murdered where the holiest of holies once stood. If the Maker willed this, what is it if not a game or a cruel joke?
Awful things happen every day. Get used to it.
Get used to being a pawn? To be discarded when the Maker's done with you?
The Chantry teaches that the Maker abandoned us. He demands repentance for our sins. He demands it all. Our lives, our deaths. Justinia gave him everything she had, and he let her die.
Maybe you should be angry at the people who murdered her.
If the Maker doesn't intervene to save the best of his servants, what good is he? I used to believe I was chosen, just as some say you are. I thought I was fulfilling his purpose for me, working with the Divine, helping people. But now she's dead. It was all for nothing. Serving the Maker meant nothing.
Maybe you have another purpose. I could help you find it.
No, this is my burden. I regret that I even let you see me like this. It was a moment of weakness. It won't happen again. Come. To work, then. We will speak later.
Okay. Suit yourself. Who is this lady? Ah, Sarah. Okay, we're all done. Oh. Yeah, I had to see what magic she
Your
could
enchanter
work.
Vivienne lives well.
She seems loyal
Ah,
to the
yeah.
circle and
I
the
need
Chantry.
obsidian
So you say.
and
Have
more
you seen
emblem.
otherwise? It's good you've returned. We heard of your encounter.
You heard?
My agents in the city sent word ahead, of course.
Well, I did chit-chat with
It's a
all
shame
of
the
you.
Templars have abandoned their senses, as well as the capital.
She's dealt with.
At least we know how to approach the mages and Templars now.
Do we? Lord Seeker Lucius is not the man I remember.
True, he has taken the orders somewhere. But to do what? My reports have been very odd.
We must look into it. I'm certain not everyone in the Order will support the Lord Seeker.
Or the Herald could simply go to meet the mages in Redcliffe instead.
You think the Mage Rebellion is more united? It could be 10 times worse.
We must choose soon.
I could at least find out what the mages want.
No doubt what they've always wanted. Support for their cause.
We shouldn't discount Redcliffe. The mages may be worth the risk.
They are powerful, Ambassador, but more desperate than you realize.
You think the invitation could be some kind of trap?
If some among the rebel mages were responsible for what happened at the Conclave,
The same could be said about the Templars.
True enough. Right now, I'm not certain we have enough influence to approach the Order safely.
Then the Inquisition needs agents in more places. That's something you can help with.
In the meantime, we should consider other options.
Other options?
There is one
What
other
will
matter.
they be?
Several months ago, the Grey Wardens of Ferelden vanished. I sent word to those in Orlais, but they have also disappeared. Ordinarily, I wouldn't even consider the idea they're involved in all this, but the timing is curious.
The Grey Wardens.
That does sound odd, I agree.
The others have disregarded my suspicion, but I cannot ignore it. 2 days ago, my agents in the hinterlands heard news of a Grey Warden by the name of Blackwall. If you have the opportunity, please seek him out. Perhaps he can put my mind at ease.
And if he can't?
Then there may be more going on than we thought.
Black Wall. Okay. Now, who's outside?
Excuse me. I've got a message for the Inquisition, but I'm having a hard time getting anyone to talk to me.
Who are you, soldier?
Cremisius Aclasi with the Bulls Chargers Mercenary Company. We mostly work out of Orlais and Navarra. We've got word of some Tevinter mercenaries gathering out on the Storm Coast. My company commander, Iron Bull, offers the information free of charge. If you'd like to see what the Bulls Chargers can do for the Inquisition, meet us there and watch us work.
Come to help.
What should I know about your commander?
Iron Bull? He's a Canary like you. He's big, he's got the horns and all of it. He leads from the front. He pays well and he's a lot smarter than the last bastard I worked for. Best of all, he's professional. We accept contracts with whoever makes the first real offer. You're the first time he's gone out of his way to pick a side.
Why did your commander send us this information?
Iron Bull wants to work for the Inquisition. He thinks you're doing good work.
What can your Bull's Chargers offer the Inquisition?
We're loyal, we're tough, and we don't break contracts. Ask around Val Royeaux. We've got references. You lead a company yourself, right? So you know talk is cheap. Come to the Storm Coast and you can see us in action.
I look forward to meeting this Iron Bull.
We're the best you'll find. Come to the Storm Coast and you can see us in action.
Aye. Storm Coast.
Maker, though the darkness comes
Another
upon me,
Giselle.
I shall embrace the light. I shall weather the storm. I shall endure. What you have created, no one can tear asunder.
Summon. Just Ferelden or Orlais? Virginia B.
What have your ears heard, Leliana? Anything new we don't already know about?
No, nothing.
Call to Fungust. Big uniform. Rescue soldiers. Black Emporium. Champion of the chess.
The Templars must help us close the breach. The Order was founded to fight magic.
We must first convince the Lord Seeker to bring the Templars out of exile.
We've received word from a knight recruit. They gather at Therenfall Redoubt.
It has been vacant for decades. Why go there?
We must approach the Lord Seeker again to get anywhere. We can ask him then.
Lord Seeker on purpose. We must approach the Lord Seeker again to get anywhere.
If we present a plan to seal the breach, the Templars may ally with us.
First, we must prove ourselves a more attractive prospect.
If it's status the Lord Seeker seeks, the Inquisition will approach him after allying with the noblest houses in Orlais.
They'll come with us to Therenfall and demand the Templars' help close the breach.
You believe that will work?
Even the Lord Seeker would find it difficult to ignore so many nobles on his doorstep.
Yes, especially when led by the Herald of Andraste.
Heralde of Andraste.
Is it my good looks you need, or my winning smile?
Rumors you were saved from the fate by Andraste have grown legion among the Templars.
We've done our part to encourage them.
A herald with a few companions may be dismissed, easily set aside. That same herald returning with noble support will be reconsidered, as will the power of the Inquisition.
If I have a growing reputation, we may as well use it.
If it moves the Templars to question the Lord Seeker's orders, he may rethink his stance.
With respect, after his appearance in Val Royeaux, hang what the Lord Seeker thinks.
We do not need the Lord Seeker. We need his Templars, with or without his approval. The breach will not wait for our differences to settle.
Right.
Good news. Several noble Orlesian houses will petition the Templars to help us stop the breach. Lord Abernash will approach him. Sign nothing he offers, but his gossip's reliable.
I hope he knows the Lord Seeker's mood. The Templars will never help without his consent.
Claims of the Inquisition compared to drop and grab legends. Inquisition needs bees. Build the watchtowers. Hard in, high down, the barracks revenge. Damn, there's so many things to choose from. Okay, you know what? Let's start from the top. Actually, let's call it alone. Since I will be here, I got a letter from my editor in Carco. I should want this merchant. We also fronted and Terry to look into this matter, I suppose. Liliana. If this author is in the marches of the flow might be a better choice for investigating him.
Let's see what we have.
Dress and a woman's concern. Somebody before. Ah yes, Lord Keeper. Let us send a polite refusal and nothing more.
Let us begin.
Dairy, high fever. We have a number of Sheldon officers, we can send them to guard.
All right.
Yes, we must build the watchtowers. Scout the hinterlands. Well, there are a few more stuff left to do. I see that I must wait 10 or 12 minutes. Investigate the shards. Just a few workplace rumors should incite bidding wars on each items. Niverian Lotus. With thanks to our Lady Ambassador, I will illustrate the scroll. The reference is vague, but it implies a connection to the temple. Possibly even I follow the lead and believe one such temple stands in an oasis in the western approach. As to what may lie within, I cannot say. Reports of the place are cut off or have pages missing. I have yet to find a reliable first-hand account. Perhaps the soldiers can provide a better one. Venture Fort. Holy shit. I need Solus. Sierra. Vivian. Sandra. Okay. If I see that I cannot work with Vivian, I'm gonna go with Varric. Let's go. Let's see, 12 or 15 minutes, and then I can charge back, send the envoys of my fellow war council. That should do us good help. Augusta. The thing about going to the Templars.
Come to join us at the Oasis? It's actually quite the sight. It and the temple are further in.
Have you learned anything more about the temple?
Honestly,
That will make
I don't like the
it
feel of the place.
impossible to work with
No
the
one
mages.
does.
I don't
Why
know
not?
if that will hamper
Couldn't
my
say.
relationship
It's
with
just a
Vivienne here.
feeling.
I don't
Anything
know.
else I should know?
Not much
Maybe
to
I'll
tell.
try it.
A mining company out of Valfremin used to have an interest here, but economies change, and they moved on. Strange the miners never marked the temple on their maps.
Forbidden Oasis.
Of you, sir.
I don't have time.
Yes, sir.
Whoa, my bad, my
Dispatch
bad.
for you.
What is it?
You may want to look into this.
Thanks.
One down!
Points. Spirit Storm in from. Oh, this is just like Solus. Holy shite. I need Varric. I cannot work with this lady. Chill. Duration 8 seconds. 200%. Regions for chill duration. 5 mana. 2 seconds cooldown, 12 seconds. You let invisible waves of magic carry you forward, blurring ahead short distance. Well, I guess this will be it for now, guys. I hope to continue this at a later time. See you on the next one.